Season 1, we were in our feelings. Season 2, we started dealing. And in Season 3, we are getting to the healing. Join me, your host Justin-Rayne, and new guests each episode. Prepare to laugh, cry, possibly be triggered, but most importantly, evolve past it all as we continue to address our fuckboy problems. On this episode of Fuckboy Problems, titled Mr. Top Chef, I talk with online cook and entrepreneur Tovah about dudes with false intentions, friends being fair game, and fuckboys begging for you to fix them a plate. Let me tell you guys, if you have not seen Tovah cook online, trust me, he is amazing at it, and so is his story today. So, without further ado, sit back, relax, and here's Fuckboys in the News.
Good evening. This is the news. Good evening. This is the news.
Good evening. This is the news.
Campaign between James and Phoebe really heating up now. Things. This is the fucking news.
Is this the Krusty Krab?
No! This is the fucking news.
Welcome back to another edition of Fuckboys in the News. I'm your host, Justin-Rayne, and the rules are simple. If you're fucking up and you have no excuse for your actions, know that I'm going to call you out on them. First up this week, we have none other than, I'm sure you guessed it, Travis Scott. You guys, if you have been living under a rock, let me catch you up. Astroworld, his famous kind of concert, live event, happened in Houston, Texas on November 5th, and 9 people died. Yes, 9 people died. Over 100 people were injured, and at this point now, over 200 lawsuits have been filed. You guys, it was a stampede. It was chaos. All I encourage you to do, if you have not seen the clips on social media, which I don't know how you missed it, is to just search like Travis Scott Astroworld on YouTube, and you will find a slew of content, probably more than what you want to see, because people were actually recording themselves in peril, dying, like at the chaos, like while the event was still ongoing. And the saddest part about this is Travis does not even seem to grasp, just like a fuckboy, his accountability in all of this. Let me just give you some more background. Most of the attendees were between the ages of 14 and 27. At this point right now, there is a 9-year-old in a medically induced coma. Like, also a good thing to know is that Travis is popular and he's gone on interviews encouraging his fans to rage or charge the stage exactly as they did in the video footage you'll see if you look it up, as they did in the event, which actually is what caused this mass casualty, raging and people rushing and charging the fucking stage. And that's really where his responsibility and influence in all this directly plays a part. According to the cops, he continued to perform, which also there's video evidence of that. There were he performed for more than 25 minutes after it was deemed a mass casualty event. And according to Travis, he claims that he didn't really have the authority to stop the concert, that if he saw some crazy stuff going on, he would have said something or paused or anything of the matter. But there were shots of him clearly seeing visible people hurt, passing out, all kinds of shit happen. And what makes this worse, like I said, is that he still, just like a fuckboy, does not want to take accountability or see that, okay, yeah, you have a huge part to play in this. And fucking paying for people's funerals, that's just the tip of the iceberg, buddy. Instead, you need to stop being so subscribed to the fame and the hype, and instead switch this shit up. Stop with the raging shit. You probably need to start a whole anti-raging campaign because you're the president of the raging club, buddy. But that's just a start. And it's sad and it's pitiful and it's ridiculous. And I just pray that, resolve and closure can be brought to the families who have lost, and also the people who were traumatized and affected that attended this concert. The 9th person that died actually is a young girl. It was her first time attending a concert, and it's so sad. And she was getting ready to go to college. It's just so sad. Next up this week, you guys, we have none other than Beefcake Hunter and his most recent victim. Beefcake Hunter and his most recent victim, Lamar, went on this whole sympathy tour to complain about the attention his gay baiting content is bringing. Basically, Lamar, if you don't know who Beefcake Hunter is, let me start there. So Beefcake Hunter is this 40-year-old Latino guy. Maybe he's not everyone's cup of tea physically or, like attractiveness wise. That's kind of the theory, not the theory, but the notion and the understanding across the internet. And that's kind of the shock and awe around his content. Him not being, conventionally attractive and then having super hot co-stars or partners that he pays very low amounts of money to kind of bring them into these gay for pay scenes, basically like straight baiting or gay baiting. It's kind of a mix of all of them, to be honest, because there's a lot of different things going on, but that's the short and sweet of it. So first of all, Lamar, he's the most recent victim, very attractive person, as all our Beefcake Hunters victims, and basically what Lamar wanted to do was he wanted to go on some sim shit and say that basically all this gay shit, it wasn't worth it. All this attention, it wasn't worth it. And I'm like, what? The follows, the fans, the compliments, the positive response to you, your body, your appearance, your penis, your performance on camera. Daughter, what's the issue? I just don't get it. Like, it just seems like, oh yeah, like I just want people to feel bad and you're just trying to play back to your straight audience. So you're like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna start this OnlyFans. I'm gonna take the gay people's money, but then I want to let all my straight homies and my family and my girl or the girls that I want to get with know they're like, yeah, I don't really care about this at all. So you just said, fuck the gay people. You're trash. You're a manipulator. And then on top of that, Beefcake Hunter goes online to also double down on it and say that it's too much. You guys, can you just like hold up on telling this man he's beautiful? Can you just like slow down on subscribing to his OnlyFans? Just slow down on giving him your money because it's just so overwhelming. Bitch, this is the shit that gets on my nerves because why are we sitting around here supporting people financially that don't even have an ounce of intellect? And I said it, an ounce of intellect, because, 1 + 1 = 2, bitch. You knew exactly what you were going to get. And now you probably already thought about this whole rollout. Oh yeah, I'm going to do this right there. Then I'm going to post this later. And then I'm going to say, and what's even worse is that Beefcake Hunter, who actually is a homosexual person or is a queer person, is actually supporting you in this bullshit, which directly disrespects and, throws shade at our community who's actually supporting you and probably supports a lot of these straight baiting guys, primarily financially, because we actually put the money in your pockets. But we'll move on to the next master manipulator. Let's talk about the last person on my list this week, Mr. Kyle Rittenhouse. He took the stand this week and provided the most performative piece of bullshit I think I've seen in a long time. If you don't know who Kyle Rittenhouse is, he is he's a murderer. He's a murderer. Allegedly, he's a murderer, but there's no question about it. Back on August 25th, I want to say 2020, in Kenosha, Wisconsin, Kyle, during those protests on August 25th, Kyle proceeded to ride out with his little white peoples, his little white, okay, yeah, fuck the niggas, fuck the protesters. We're going to kill them all, bring them all down. Get your AKs, bring your guns on down to the city. And then they want to go and shoot people and wound people with zero consequence because, white people believe that the land is theirs and the people on the land are theirs. They still believe that you own us, you own our bodies. So what you do with our bodies doesn't mean anything. It's called delusion, bitch. And that's why you need to go to jail. So while Kyle was on the stand, he is now crying in the saddest little dry cry that I could ever see in my life. And I'm like, where's the remorse? Like, now you're remorseful because you killed people, because you went and did this. But a day after you had done it, you were doing selfies with your fans and all these people were cheering you on in Burger King and all these other places around town. Oh no, ma'am. The chokey is where you need to be. The chokey. Because you're not really remorseful. You just want to perform. You don't want to take accountability. You don't want to deal with the consequences of your actions. So now you're like, oh no, in the game, I'm out. Well, guess what, baby? This ain't Nintendo 64. This ain't PS5. This ain't Call of Duty. This is real life. You want to go and kill people like it was a game, like it was a first-person shooter game, well, you can go to jail. Because guess what? It's not a game. Now that I got that out my system, I'm so excited for you guys to hear my conversation today with Tovah. Like I said, we're talking about the rules around fucking people's friends, whether that's okay or not, his transition into entrepreneurship through cooking, and so much more. So without further ado, here's his confession. What to do but to keep part two of my confessions. Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Fuckboy Problems. I'm your host, Justin-Rayne, and today we have none other than Top Chef himself. No, I'm just playing. We have entrepreneur chef. He does so many different things. We have Tovah here today, and the episode is actually called Mr. Top Chef. How are you doing, sir?
Amazing. I'm so happy. I'm excited.
He's excited, y'all. He's nervous. It's his first time. We're gonna give him, our best, but you're in the hot seat. We're gonna keep it easy on you, but you're gonna have to keep it real, all right? All right, so Mr. Top Chef, today's episode is all about them niggas that hit you up, when he posts all that pretty food that looks so good. He made this Alfredo po' boy sandwich the other day. And when you see it, I understand. Cause it's like a distance. I mean, he looks so good. So then, like you wanna eat him and you wanna eat the food. You don't know which one you wanna eat first. So it's all about those niggas who be like, oh yeah, when you gonna make me a plate? When you gonna let me come over? They act like they want to eat the food, but really they just want to eat you. And that's just some fuckboy shit. And you could have just kept it 100 from the jump and just been like, I want to pipe you down. And then maybe after, you could just get a meal because you earned it. How about that?
That's really
How about that?
It's very simple. Ain't no rocket science.
It's not no rocket science. Okay. So tell us about this individual. Tell us about where you met them. Place us in the scene.
First of all, it's not just one individual. It's a plethora of individuals. It's never just one.
It's never just one. Okay.
First of all, it's very much like I am very cognizant of like a lot of things. I'm not like no dumb nigga. So it's like I know when a nigga really genuinely wants me to like cook for him and when a nigga just trying to fuck. And typically it's always like I don't mind when my friends or my family hit me up and be like, oh, when you gonna cook for me? When you gonna make a plate for me? Because like people who I care about, who I've built that rapport with, of course, like I don't care. But it be these niggas who like I don't barely talk to, who wasn't with me at the grocery store helping me buy the groceries, who like, saying shit like that, who just be like, oh, like make me a plate. But I know it's not like you don't really want me to make you a plate. You want to fuck. I'm not no dumbass nigga. So it's just it's never just one nigga. It's always a plethora of them. Like, and maybe you want me to cook for you, but I know like I'm not no dumbass nigga. You gonna get over to my space and in my space in my crib, and it's gonna be 2 seconds into you getting it's gonna be like, oh, take these off. Like I'm not like no stupid ass nigga. You know what I'm saying?
It do be like that. As a fuck boy who's done it. I'm reading myself. No, as a fuck boy who's
done that before.
I want the food though too. Let me be very clear. I want to eat the food though too, because I ain't got a bottom, so I'm gonna eat your food first. Then I want to fuck you, but I also know you're a bottom, so I want to. I mean, yeah. But in the past, it has been successful. But I mean, to my point, I love to eat, so I can't say that maybe they didn't also want to, enjoy your food because it does look great. But I do have a question about that. Okay, so these guys slide into your DMs. Okay, what's the variety of ways they say, can you make me a plate? Is it always just, yo, can I get a plate? Do they not even try to be special or imaginative or try to be creative in how they approach?
First of all, when niggas is horny, they don't give a fuck how they approach you. Like it's two ways that niggas always approach me. It's either can I get a plate or when you gonna cook for me? It's not even creative. It's not even
there's two avenues.
It's two avenues every single time. Every trip.
Okay. And what decisions do you make? What goes into you deciding if you're gonna cook the plate or not?
I never do. There's never a time where I tell, and like there have been like a few occasions where like if it's like a nigga who I'm feeling or a nigga who I like, not and even more so than that. If it's a nigga who I've built a rapport with and we've had banter back and forth, then I don't mind it because it's cute and it's flirtatious. But when it's a nigga who we haven't had that kind of conversation, no, like I'm not. I would feel so uncomfortable if there was a nigga who was a photographer and sliding his DMs like, oh, when you gonna do a photo shoot of me? Like that's cringy to me. Like
Okay.
I don't like
You
that.
gotta
But like
earn that.
it do. But also, like I said, if it's a nigga who I've been talking to who I might like, I might be like, yeah, I cook for you. You know what I'm saying? But when it's like a nigga who who I have no kind of conversation with, then no, like it's cringy as fuck. Like it is what it is.
Okay, so when you get these messages, how do you respond and how are you analyzing it to decide?
I don't like being an asshole. I don't like being mean. So a lot of
Mhm.
times I'll just double tap. If it's like somebody who's doing it consistently, I have definitely been like, bro, like chill. Like I don't know you like that. And or my main approach is I always tell people, cooking for me is therapeutic. It's something I enjoy. So I can't share that with anybody. And sometimes people do understand that. Like I've had people who be like, "Oh, I understand that," and I've had people get mad at me and been like, "Oh, it wasn't all that serious." And I'm just like, "Well, I mean, shit. Like,
You pay for
I
the
don't.
ingredients.
You don't want to. Yeah, but also you don't want to hit me up about it. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, but I try my hardest. I don't like being mean to people or being an asshole. So I do try my hardest to be as patient and as like nice as I can. But some people I'm
Mhm.
just like, bro, like I don't know you, like that's not cool. And it's cringy. Like you shouldn't just be hopping in niggas' DMs being like, can you cook for me? It's a
I
little bit
mean, it
cringy.
really take
Try
it take. I mean, you gotta have some balls. You gotta have some balls. You real
I agree.
comfortable in
I
somebody's
agree.
world. I don't know, not mine.
Yeah.
In somebody's world, you're comfortable, not mine though. So as you guys are having these conversations and you're turning them down, when did you realize, or have you always known that cooking was therapy for you? When
Um,
did you kind of like get the tools to know how to communicate to these other people instead of just being an asshole?
I think that when I first started cooking, it came from I was in the army a while ago.
Mhm.
I used to be broke as fuck in the army. Like I didn't have no money ever. So I would always just start cooking whatever was in my refrigerator. And also at that time I was really young too. I was 20 to 22 or 23 in the army. But that time
Mhm.
I was also very impressionable. So I loved the attention of niggas like being like cook for me, but I also wasn't that open about my food. It wasn't until last year when I started really posting my food to where it started becoming annoying. And it also was not until last year when food became really therapeutic for me, just to cook. A lot of times I'll cook my food and I won't even eat it right away. I just cook because it's just fun to do. So up until last year is when it started getting like really annoying and it started getting like people were just like, oh, you look, I would like to think I got a decent face. So it was up until last year people would just use that as an excuse to slide on my DMs. And that's when it started
Okay.
getting annoying. Because it's crazy because I would even post certain things like stop. I would literally be like, stop sliding in my DM saying this. And that's how I know niggas don't look or listen. Because niggas are just niggas and they
And
just
they
don't have
don't
the understanding.
read.
They don't read. So I will post that and niggas will still slide in my DMs like, oh, when you gonna cook for me? When can I get a plate? And this is be like, it's so cringy. It makes me sick. I'm gonna be very honest. I don't like it.
That's fair. I mean, is your work. I mean, have you done any like formal education or training with your cooking? Are you thinking
Yeah, I've
about
been in
it? Okay.
yeah, I did culinary school for a while. That was fun. But
Okay.
people who are not creatives,
Mhm.
or don't have like really like real, not real, people who don't have talents and hobbies don't understand how that feels. So somebody, if you're a photographer, if you're a chef, if you're a dancer or an actor, I don't know, any of those things where you create, people don't understand like those things are dear and near to me. So just asking, like, imagine asking somebody who's a dancer, when you gonna dance for me? Like, that's not something I just do for people. Like, I do that because
I'm just
I
going out
enjoy.
here and breaking this off for you.
Yeah, like I'm not about to come to your house and just break out an account for you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not how it works. So I just feel like people who are not creative. And I also am very empathetic, not empathetic. I'm sympathetic and I'm very understanding of that too. Like, if you're not a creative, you don't understand what I put into my art. Like, you don't get it. So in your mind, you're thinking like, I'm just telling them to cook for me. But in my mind, I'm thinking like, no, this is something that I really enjoy and it brings me peace. So I'm not just going to share that with everybody. So I'm understanding of both sides. But I want people to stop asking me that question. I really do. Like, I want it to end. I don't want
What
no
was the
more.
worst experience you had with that?
I don't know. I haven't
Have
had
you had
any.
just somebody like really wild, just really try or like coming too crazy? You said
No,
somebody they
no.
reacted and they
Actually,
were just angry.
I've had people block me before. Like one guy recently, or maybe a few months ago, he asked me, can you cook for me, make me a plate, something of that line?" And I told him I was like, I'm not trying to be an asshole. I always start off like this. I don't like being perceived as being an asshole. Like, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but cooking is something that I do because I enjoy it, and I do that for my loved ones, people who I care about. And he told me I was stuck up, and I'm not even all that cute, and I should be honored. I should be happy that somebody even asked me to cook for him, but none of those things mean shit to me. I know I'm cute, so you can't tell me I'm not cute. Like, I'm not worried
Okay,
about that.
Carisha.
Yeah, but he was just basically trying to tell me. He told me he tried to humble me and told me that I should be honored that somebody would even be. You know, it's crazy. He had a blue check too. I would say that he had a blue check. Yeah, and I think that he thought because he asked me to cook for him, I should have been like, oh my god, you got a blue check, you got all these followers, and I was like, no, bro, like I'm cool. And he took it to offense. But like I said, I always try to be like nice to people. I don't like just being flat out mean to motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So.
Then there's that. Okay. Have you ever had an
Yeah.
experience or a time where it did go well and you decided to cook for the person and it kind of worked out in both of y'all's favor? Tell me about one of your favorite times or the best time that worked out.
Okay, so I was dating this guy recently. I actually cooked for him often, but he didn't really come off as like let me cook for you. He just was
Mm-hmm.
really like I enjoy your food. Like I want to taste your food. And because of course, I mean he was attractive and to me, and he was also
Mm-hmm.
he was nice and he was kind. I was like, fuck it, like yeah. And we hung out and he bought all the groceries first of all.
That's a
He ordered all the
plus.
groceries. He was like, I want you to make this for me. And I was like, shit, fuck it. Like, I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I made it. And we had hit it off, and I cooked for him multiple times, actually. Like, I was consistently cooking for him. We don't talk no more, but I know if he hear this, he gonna know who I'm talking. He gonna know I'm talking about him because I cooked for him a lot of times, and he always made it known my food was very good. So, but that was a good
Okay.
experience. And we also had
No.
really like we were also cooking had really good sex afterwards. It was almost like the food got him high. Like it was like euphoric for him. Like he would eat and like we would just have really good sex.
Well, that's
So that
always
was a great.
great. That's a good thing. Okay. So what are some what are some tips for people that want to get food or they want to, they want to get to know someone who's a chef or they want to deal with somebody who's cooking and that's their love language. What's some advice for someone that wants to, interact and you want to taste the food, but you also want to get to know someone as well?
Yeah, I think that I mean, as simple as it sounds, I feel like just getting to know somebody first. Because if you come to like my Instagram page and my Twitter page and you actually like search, you obviously know I like to cook. Like my Instagram page is probably more food than it is me. So if you
Mm-hmm.
really want to get to know me, like just get to know me. And then obviously like if I'm feeling you or I fuck with you, you would know that I will cook for you because that's something that I do as a love language. Um, it's something that I do to show you I care about you. But if you just come to me on top of some like, oh, like let's just cook for me, it's just not gonna work. So just get to know me. Like it's anybody who knows me or knows of me knows that I cook. So it's not like a secret. I don't like barely do it. People who know me know I could just like try to get to know me as a person. And then if I fuck with you and I like you, I'll cook for you because that's something I enjoy doing for people who I fuck with, who I really care about. It's
Okay.
really simple. But don't come to me off top on some, oh, like cook for me. Don't
Mm-hmm.
do that. Because then I'm gonna be really turned off.
Mm.
It's very demanding. I don't like being told what to do either. So
Oh, you're rebellious.
very.
Okay. Got
very
it. All right. So have you ever dated tried to date another person in culinary school when you were in culinary school?
no,
Or date another chef or another person that works in the same field? Have you ever talked to another chef or another cook?
I haven't. I've talked to people who and like to cook, but I don't think I've ever dated or talked to anybody since I've started cooking seriously who's enjoyed
Hmm.
cooking as much as I do. But I 100% wouldn't be opposed to it because I feel like somebody who enjoys cooking would know how it feels to cook. Um, and there's certain things that cooks know that they just like don't like. Like I don't like nobody being in the kitchen when I cook. Like leave me alone. Go mind your business. I don't like nobody in my space when I cook. Yeah. I also like really honest people when I cook because I know that my
Hmm.
food will not appeal to everybody. So, but I would love to do that. But I have never met somebody who enjoys cooking the way I enjoy cooking as far as dating.
So you wouldn't let anybody cook with you in the kitchen, even if they were just like your sous chef?
I'm not saying I wouldn't let them, but I would have to really like them a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, I would have to really enjoy them. Like I would have to really be like, I fuck with them. I just like being in the kitchen. I'm also an only child too, so I don't like people in my space.
Oh, got it.
Yeah,
Okay. I'm an
I'm
only child
very
as well. I just want to
yeah.
like do my thing and handle it. I know how I like to do it. And just let me
Yeah,
like do it. And you just sit there and look pretty. That's what I say usually when I
that's
cook.
it.
Just
And
sit
I
there at
would
the
even
bar
like
and
I
look
would
cute.
yeah, no, I agree. And I would even make your plate for you. I'll make your plate for you. I would even serve your plate to you. Like, but just leave me the fuck alone. Like, just leave me alone. Like, I will give you a plate. If you want to drink, I would even serve you napkins, but just leave me alone when I cook. Like,
Okay.
but yeah.
All right. So have you ever had, I guess, what has been your craziest fuckboy experience? I'm sure you met a fuckboy before. You just tell me about one.
You know what? It's so you say craziest, and it's like so many things come to mind because it's like niggas do be crazy. Um, to help narrow it down, I'm gonna say my craziest fuckboy experience since being in Atlanta. That's what I'm
Yeah,
gonna narrow
let's bring it to Atlanta. Yeah, let's do
because
that.
I've lived in LA, DC, and New York, and Atlanta has even I've
Come
only
on,
been here
world
two
traveler.
yeah, I only been here 2 months, but dating here has been interesting. But I would say my crazy fuckboy experience here has been like I will fuck with a nigga and he may not be feeling me the same way I'm feeling him. So I'll fuck with his friends. And I have no shame in that. I will easily, I don't give a fuck. I will fuck with a nigga's friends off top because if you don't want me and your friend,
Wow.
yeah, like it's if you don't want me, and your friend want me, like why should I be like, why should I like, if you don't want
Now, what
me and
if
I
you
want
met the friends through them? You still think that's okay? You
I
do.
mean,
Wow.
to be honest with you, like I feel like yeah, I'm like, yeah, I do because it's just like if I meet you and I'm kicking it with you, and you're not showing me no interest, like you don't really want to fuck with me, but your friend do. Why should I be like, oh, I'm not gonna fuck with your friend? Like, nigga, you not fucking with me. Like, you don't want to fuck with me. And my crazy fuck boy experience here has been, I was fucking with a guy, and I
Mm-hmm.
met his friend at a party. The guy did not want me in the way I wanted him, and his friend
Mm-hmm.
gave me his number, and I ended up hitting it off with his friend more than him. And then he
Mm-hmm.
got mad because he was actually fucking his friend too. So when he found out, yeah. So and that's my experience in Atlanta. A lot of people are fucking their
They fuck
friends.
on
So
their friends.
it's
Yeah.
so it is hard for me to know. So the reason he wasn't really more so mad that I was fucking his friend. He was more so mad because he was fucking his friend too. And now he's mad because he likes my fucking his friend too. So Atlanta, that's probably my craziest fuckboy experience here. Like I wish I could give you one that's all encompassing because I've had so many, but that's the one I think of that's like that stands
It
out to me.
stands out. Okay.
Yeah.
And how would you define a fuck boy?
I feel like a fuckboy is anybody who just does not have pure intentions for you. Like that's really a fuckboy to me. And as cliche as it sounds, it's like if I'm fucking with you and I know I have no real intention with you, and I'm just still leading you on or just doing things because I know you might find out, or I'm fucking with niggas who in your circle, or I'm fucking with niggas who like I know you're gonna run into, or I just really just don't have any pure intentions with you, but I'm still doing things with you like I have intentions with you. It's fuck boy shit
Okay.
to me. You know what I'm saying? I date with intention. So I'd never date anybody and be like, let's go with the flow. Or let's just see like where it's gonna go. Or I like really date because I want to get to know you and see where it's gonna go. I'm not dating you because I have any intentions on hurting you or fucking you over or doing no foul shit to you. But
So what did you dating with intention look like? What do you tell them from the beginning?
like in the beginning when I meet somebody, like I'm a cancer, so I'm like naturally romantic. So if I date someone I really
You're
not
naturally
like,
emotional.
I am. I'm very emotional. I'm in tune with all my emotions. Happy, sad, angry, frustrated, all of them. I'm very in tune with them. When I date somebody, I'm very honest and transparent from jump. Like I want a nigga to know, like, not on the first date, obviously, but if we date a few times and I'm
Yeah,
getting to
as
know
you
you,
get
I'm
to
gonna
know each
tell
other, you feel comfortable.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what I want from you. Like I'm never gonna be like, I'm gonna tell you what I want from you so that you know this is what I want. Um, but I don't date I'm not dating no more just to go with the flow. Like
Mhm.
I'm not dating for a marriage per se, but I'm not also dating just for the fun of it. Like I'm 29. Like I want to kind of have a
You want a
baby, get a
commitment.
puppy.
Yeah. Have a
Yeah,
baby, get a puppy.
yeah. And I'm also I don't even have to be monogamous. I'm not even really that big on monogamy. Like I feel like everybody's definition of monogamy is different. So like I'm not even if I'm not going into it thinking you only have to be with me. I just want to go into it with an understanding of that we understand each other. Because if we understand each other, then we can move in a proper way. But if we don't have any understanding of each other, then like we're gonna just do
Yeah.
our own thing. So that's really
Yeah. You got
big.
to start on the same foundation. I totally agree
It
with
had
that.
100%. It has to start off that way. So it
Okay.
can't start off with us both being unsure what we want. Like if I ask you what you want, you need to tell me. Like if I met a nigga who I dated and he went into it saying like things like I love group sex, I can't give it up. That's not somebody who I would pursue off top because you're telling me like I like group sex. Now trust me, I've done group sex before too. But am I willing to do it in a relationship all the time?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Is that your
But at least
primary form of sex? Yeah.
it's not. But at least you tell me I have the option to be like, okay, I do or I don't want to do it. A lot of times people are
Mm-hmm.
not transparent because they're trying to win you over and they want to say whatever they think is going to win you over. But just tell me what you like so I have the option of saying yes or no.
Yeah. And it's also deceptive. It's kind of like they're trying to backdoor you into a relationship.
Don't do
And then when
that.
you get there, you want me to have all these feelings and then make it harder for me to walk away. But let me tell
Yeah.
you, I always have a backpack. All right. I don't know about you, but I always have a backpack and I always have somewhere else to go. There's
All the
always somebody
time.
waiting in the wings.
Every time. Every time.
I don't know. You should never think that there's not somebody else that's waiting to take what you got.
No. But I think
Mhm.
people do think that. I think people date and think like that. I always tell people all the time, like, I'll be committed to you, but I want it to be very clear. I'm a catch. Like, I'm not talking about like I think I lick you, but I'm a really good person. So if you don't want me, I promise you, there are 7 billion people in the world. Somebody else gonna want me. So I'm not really worried if me and you don't
Mhm.
work or we don't fit. And it may not be them, it may be me. I may not be a good fit for them. Like it may not be them. I might really like them, but they might not really like me. So it's just like, but I'm not about to stress about one person when it's, and niggas have friends too. So
Here you go.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Okay. So what was that transition like from the military into getting into cooking and really taking cooking serious? Like what was the moment for you? Because I'm sure there are other people out there that cook for fun or maybe want to cook professionally like you do, and they're trying to figure out, like, is this something I can turn into a career? Like what was that kind of turning point for you as it transitioned from just being a thing that you enjoyed?
It was hard. When I got out of the military and I kind of got into the civilian world, it was hard because I had been in the military since I was 18. So, and I got out when I was 24. So it was hard. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And my career in the army was human resources. So I got out thinking that's what I wanted to do. And like I said, the transition happened just from just cooking over time. Like I would cook certain things and I would just enjoy cooking. And I would look up recipes and it just became more fun. And I thought when I got out, I wanted to do, cause I dance and I write and I do theater. And that's what I thought I originally wanted to do, but cooking just kind of took over. Um, the transition from moving from New York to Atlanta is kind of when I realized I really wanted to cook. Cause I would cook a lot and people would taste my food and they would like it. And I would be like, damn, people really like my food. And then it became, okay, you're tasting my food. Let me have people who are not my friends taste my food and see how they like it. And then they would like it too. Then it became, okay, well, let me ask people who are really transparent about my food. And I would start getting tips and hints or um, constructive criticism on how my food was. And that's when it triggered. And it was like, this is something that you really enjoy. You're asking people how they feel about your food. So you should probably take this serious. And since then, that's when I've been cooking a lot. But like I also told you, it's also therapeutic. I cook a lot of meals that I don't post because I just enjoy
Okay.
cooking. Like I would just literally cook and I just like I enjoy the art of cooking, the prepping, the smell of it, even the grocery shopping is fun to me.
Oh,
So
okay.
but it was hard because I didn't know what I wanted to do after the army. I had so many different avenues that I wanted to be in. I didn't know, and cooking was not one of them. Like I was trying to get back into theater and dance, and then cooking just kind of took over. It was like a newfound love.
What is I guess what is the biggest fuckboy red flag for you? We've been talking about red flags all day on Twitter.
We have,
So
yeah. You want me to
what's
go
the
on Twitter and
quickest
pick one?
yeah, so what's right? No. So
Oh
what's the
my
quickest
God.
red flag for you to catch and tell if somebody's a fuckboy?
I think one of the biggest red flags is I know this is gonna sound hypocritical, but I always look at like a guy in his friend group, right? So if you tell me like you fucked one of your friends in the past, I'm not mad because most gay men, we kind of have fucked somebody in the past and it didn't really work out, and we just really are friends. But in my recent years, especially being in Atlanta, a biggest red flag is somebody telling me like, "Oh, I fuck with my friends before, but when I take somebody serious, I don't fuck around with my friends no more." Because that's just weird to me. And believe that, and I know that sounds
I
crazy
guess
to
that's
say.
different because it's kind of consistent versus like one time it happened and then we became friends.
Yeah, like my immediate circle of friends I have not had sex with, but I do have people who I'm really, really cool with to this day. Like I would consider them a friend, but we have not done anything sexual. But in moving to Atlanta, and I'm not saying this is just exclusive to Atlanta because I've lived in other cities, right? A lot of people do fuck their friends. But I just when you tell me like you're fucking your friend, but you're gonna stop if you become serious, that's a red flag for me because it's like, well, if you consistently fucking like this is your friend that you're telling that you
Yeah,
fucking
consistently. Yeah, that's a relationship.
that's a damn near, yeah. And I remember it was a big thing on Twitter a while ago about that. And people would try to convince me, like, oh, if y'all not fucking your friends, y'all capping. I'm like, no, I'm really not fucking my friends. But then I also had to realize that people's definition of friends are different. So that's something I had to take in too. But that's a big red flag for me as far as fuckboy. And also just like I said, like telling me like, oh, can you make me a plate? Can you cook for me? Somebody saying like, oh, no, you got all the hoes. Somebody who's consistently going out all the time. Like if you out 5 days a week, that's a fuckboy flag for me because like sit down.
When are you working?
It ain't even
when
that
are you
because
resting? That's what I want to know. When are you resting?
When are you resting? But it's
When are
also
you
like
doing something for you?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now living in Atlanta, it is hard to sit down, like because it's like there's so much to do here. But it's like if I'm fucking with you and you're always out like 5 days a week. I was dating this nigga. Well, not dating. We was cool, and I was on a Wednesday. He in the club popping bottles, and it's just like, damn, like I'm not judging nobody. I've done a lot of shit, but when do you sit down? When do you meditate? When do you read a book? When do you pray? Like when do you like do anything for yourself? And granted, you might be doing those things, and I might not see them, but perception is everything. So if I constantly see you outside popping bottles in the club, in the bar, you always drunk, then I'm going to think that you always out in the club and you always popping bottles and you always drunk. That's only what I see. So those have been like my fuckboy issues recently.
Okay, as we get ready to go to the next segment, tell everybody out there about everything you're doing with food and your entrepreneurial businesses and your efforts and how they can find you on social media.
Yeah, so you can follow me on social media at my Instagram is __ J Tovah, and then my Twitter is Don Juan __. And as far as my entrepreneurship, I do a lot. So I started doing marketing and branding for small startup companies. I did that on my own years ago. I don't know how I got into that. I can't tell you how. I just started making flyers and started talking to people about how to promote their businesses. People start coming to me about making flyers and things like that. So that worked out for me. I also have a long career in HR, so I've done human resources. I have a top secret security clearance that I don't use anymore, but I do have it. I cook, I write. I've done theater in the past. I've done show choir. I dance. I've done ballet.
Show choir.
Yeah, I've done ballet, hip hop, contemporary jazz, modern jazz. I do in the future, like the next year, my plan is to open a food truck. I would love to have like a small restaurant. So I put my hands in anything. I'm also currently in school now for photography. I don't want a degree in it. I'm doing like a certification just to get to know how to do lighting and the history of photography, art, modern history, things like that. I put my hands in anything that I like to do, just to have it under my belt. So I do a lot. I put my hands in everything.
Oh, sounds like it. You like to keep your hands full. You like to be busy.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all good. Okay. Well, when we come back, we will have our fuckboy versus fucked up portion of the show.
I couldn't help but wonder. 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 Are men just women with balls?
This is a good time to vent. Officially. Now, in the great tradition of Paris is burning, the library is about to be open. Hey! Because reading is what? Fundamental. That's right, children.
All right, so we are back with Tovah, the chef. This is episode Mr. Top Chef, and we are at our fuckboy versus fucked up portion of the show here at Fuckboy Problems. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, so Tovah's not new to the show, but for everybody out there listening, I'll read a letter from a lucky listener, and we'll weigh in and decide if this person is a fuckboy or if this situation is fucked up. All right. The subject line comes in and it says, "Court me, bitch." I didn't know how. That's my best Nene Leaks impersonation. Okay. My assistant told me to say it like that, so I'm doing the best I can. I hope I did all right. All right. This person writes in and they say, "Hi, Fuckboy Podcast. Justin, I need your advice. I'm sick and tired of doing all the work. Planning the date, asking the questions, pushing the nigga to do anything for that matter than just the bare minimum. My man and I have been dating for 4 months and we just made it official. It should be an exciting and beautiful time, but now I'm not so sure I made the right decision. I don't think I asked for much, but maybe what I'm asking for, I've realized can't be provided, or my man just doesn't have the tools to provide them for me. Let me elaborate. Most of our dates, I plan. We split the cost, almost always rotate who pays, so money isn't the issue. The effort and thought behind it all is actually where I'm talking about, and I'm torn. My dude is just kind of fine with showing up and doing whatever. It's not that he's not adventurous. I just know he probably wouldn't think to do these things on his own, or he's actually proven it. But planning your own dates and always making those decisions gets draining. I mean, I don't always want to decide what's for dinner even. Hell, I don't always want to know what we're doing for our dates. Doesn't everyone like surprises? Or at least some kind of surprises? I told him we should rotate planning dates and picking dinner choices. That lasted all of 2 weeks, if that. It felt like as soon as this nigga could conveniently find an excuse with work or being busy, he threw all those responsibilities right back onto me. Now, I don't mind doing it 60% of the time, maybe even 75%, but I need him to do a little something. If I'm honest, the dates are great, but I always walk away feeling empty after them. When I talked to my therapist, they said the dates feel hollow because they weren't filled with intention and care from both sides. They said that if my partner was equally invested, they'd also take ownership of how the dates go and the direction of our relationship. I want to be wooed. They wrote this in all caps. I want to be wined and dined. Not all the time, but sometimes, as the late and great Whitney would say. Sometimes. Oh, this was cute. They really did good. Sometimes it would be nice to be courted. Thought and effort goes such a long way. Not even talking about how much it costs. Is that too much to ask for? Do you think I can get him to change this fucked up situation? Or is it a lost cause and he's just a fuckboy stuck in his ways? Signed, Court Me, Courtney. Aww, Courtney.
That is so cute. Unfortunately, his situation is not cute. And what I will say is this. It goes into my affirmation for the day. And I tell all of my friends this, and I tell myself this. So it's very, very simple. Like I tell anybody, this is what I tell myself and everybody else. If a nigga wanted to, he would, but he don't. That's why he hasn't. So if a nigga wanted to take you out, if he wanted to go on dates, if he wanted to woo you over, if he wanted to be romantic, even if that's not his love language, if he wanted to, he would, but he don't. That's why he hasn't. Okay, I caught myself plenty of times. I was talking to a guy who wouldn't text me good morning. And I would be like, damn, like, why do I always gotta do it? You know why he didn't text me good morning? Because he didn't fucking want to. He didn't want to. If he got up in the morning, he thought about me, he would text me good morning. I asked him why we don't go on dates and be out in public. You know, we didn't go on dates and go out in public because he didn't fucking want to. So you have to, in that situation, like I'm going to say that one last time, if he wanted to, he would, but he don't. That's why he hasn't. Niggas do what they want to do. Anybody does what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? Even with me, like if I want to fuck with somebody, I don't give a fuck if I got to put my pride aside. If I want to do it, I'm gonna do it. The nigga that he fucking with don't want to do those things. Cause if he, like I said, if he wanted to, he would. You know what I'm saying? Niggas treat you exactly how they feel about you.
I'm not gonna lie.
They do.
Yeah. It sounds like at this point,
He
especially
don't
at
like
4 months,
him. He don't like him.
I won't say, I mean, it sounds like you're doing a lot of the work and you're doing all the heavy lifting. So that's what's making it very easy for this person to do fucked up shit. That's without a doubt it's fucked up.
I
That they
agree.
can't
Yeah.
even hold their commitment to you. I want to believe I'm really trying to be nice this season because other things I'll just be like, this nigga fuck boy. I'm really trying to be nice and grow and
He's a
heal.
fuck boy.
I don't know. I'm very. I really want to say this person is a fuck boy because it's kind of like there's just really no excuse, especially after you had a conversation, they committed to it, and then as soon as they had an opportunity to go back to their old ways, they went back to it. Or like as soon as they had an opportunity to find an excuse, which like the real fuckboy in me would be like, okay, they probably just made up that excuse because they tried that one time and they were like, man, this is a lot. I'm gonna just go and put this back on them. That's a little bit of it. But part of me also feels like, I would hope that someone commit to a relationship. You said you guys just got in a relationship. I would like to hope that they wouldn't have committed and said yes to making it official after 4 months or whatever period of time, if they didn't really want to be in it. It's not like you put a gun to their head or anything like that. But also some people are passive. I know some people that just like go with the flow and they, like you are cool with this, it's comfortable, you straight. And as long as you don't have to put in a lot of work, they fine with it. Because it serves them. So you really don't know.
That's
but
true. And also there are people who are used to people catering to them. Now that's not what he made it seem like, but there are people who really are used to that who were just like, well, niggas just it's very much and I hate to say it, it's like a city girls mentality that people have.
Yeah, very entitled.
Like,
everybody's very entitled.
Yeah, he probably feels like, well, shit, niggas was for me, you gonna do it too. And I don't know the situation. I just know about what they said in the message, and that's kind of how it's. Sometimes it is. Like I've met niggas who I like to spoil niggas and trick on niggas. I really do. If I like you, and we're dating, not just random niggas. I'll make that very clear. I don't mind.
Everybody about to come your way for a pair of J's.
No, I don't. But if me and you fucking around, I get to know you and I like you, unfortunately, I'm gonna trick on you for sure. I'm gonna get you whatever you want if I like you and we have built that rapport. But some niggas go into it because they want somebody so bad, they would literally do things that they don't really want to do, and because the person might be used to that, they're not trying to stop it. But again, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Again, if a nigga wanted to, he would. So if he wanted to woo you over and do things for you, he would. Because like that is what it is. That's what platonic or romantic. That is how it is. Even with my friends, like if I want to check up on me or come visit me or do anything, they would do it. Like there will be a conversation that will be had. And if a nigga wanted to take me on dates and treat me well, and he wanted to reciprocate what I'm giving him, he would do it because he wants to. People do what they want to do. When you get up in the morning and you want to go out, and you get up on Sunday, you want to go to brunch, I promise you're going to go to brunch. You're going to find a brunch to go to.
You find the energy to do the things you want to do.
Find energy and that's very simple. I tell myself that all the time. Like, let's not even talk about nobody else. I tell myself that when I get mad, when I'm talking to a nigga and he's not giving what I'm giving him, I don't get mad about it. I don't cuss him out, or I'll communicate with him. But if I communicate with you that and you don't fix it, then it's because you don't want to fix it. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just not the nigga for you. Like, it's okay. I'm not mad at you at all, though. But I should not have to. If I ask you once to do something for me, or I ask you twice and I express to you tactfully and respectfully what I want, and you still don't give me that, it's because you don't want to give me that. Because I can't, like, if you do something one time, you may not know I may not like that. So let me express to you that I don't like that. And if you fix it, then you want to fix it. But if you don't, it's because you don't want to fix it. It's not rocket science. I promise. It's very simple.
Very true.
And life is very easy. I'm telling you, you just think that way.
When we come back, we'll be at the song of the week portion of the show, y'all.
Hey, how about we listen to a little bit of music?
Hey, that is my song. Hi. You know they gave me a shout out on the album, right? Word? Yes. Everywhere I go, I see the same.
We are at the Song of the Week portion of the show. We have Tovah here. The episode is called Mr. Top Chef. All right, Tovah, what is your song for this week?
My song for the week is, even though it's been out for a very long time, it is Good Days by SZA.
Okay.
It's a good song. It's a feel-good song. Like, even when you're feeling down or you feeling happy or frustrated, it just makes you feel good. It's a really good song. I think it'll be timeless for sure.
Okay. Good Days by SZA. All right.
Well, yeah, if you think you can.
Okay. Deanna. If you wanna be somebody, if you wanna go somewhere, you better wake up and pay attention. If you wanna be somebody, if you wanna go somewhere, you better wake up and pay attention. If you wanna be somebody, if you wanna go somewhere, you better wake up and pay attention.
Wait a minute.
We are at the Fuck Boy Fix portion of the show, you all. We have had Tovah here. He has kept it realer than real. Fuck how you feel. Fuck all them haters. Transparency is the key. Tell everybody what's your Fuck Boy Fix, your affirmation, your tip, your thing they can put on a sticky note and put on a mirror.
I'm gonna do two. I'm gonna do two affirmations real. They're both very
Okay.
fast. My first affirmation is what I said earlier, and I want everybody to always take this with them, no matter what they do. If they wanted to, they would, but they don't. That's why they haven't. And I also want to say, on a more positive note, I want people to tell themselves that on their lowest days, that they're beautiful, they're soft, and they're poised. And even though the world, I know sometimes the world gets ugly, and tough and chaotic, but as long as you remain grounded and anchored and stand fast, you will always be enough. That's very important to me.
All right, come on. Look at you over here dropping gems over here, trying to, lift the people up and all the things.
I need to lift myself up, so I have to tell myself those things often, and it makes me feel better.
That's good. I think we all do. You would be surprised. Trust me. So tell everybody out there one more time where they can find you on social media, all the things you're doing that they can stay tuned for.
Yes, I'm very active on Twitter and Instagram. My Twitter is DonJuan__. And if you want to check out a lot of my food, you can follow me at Instagram __JTova.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today. Y'all, he was nervous, but look, he did amazing. And until next time. Oh, wait. Y'all niggas, don't be sliding nobody DMs talking about when I'm gonna get a plate, when you cooking for me.
Please.
All of that. Keep it 100 and state your intention first and keep all that other bullshit to the side, all right? That's definitely something y'all need to remember before we tell y'all goodbye on this episode.
Please, and thank you.
Thank you. All right. Until next time. Bye, for boys. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. Please make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at _FBProbs. Also, if you want to see video clips from today's episode, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel by visiting our Linktree at linktr.ee/FBProbs. And go ahead and add our playlist on Spotify and Apple Music while you're there. And last but not least, if you've got fuckboy problems or just want some advice, email us at fbprobs@justin-rayne.com. Until the next episode, bye fuckboys!